Okay, hello. So this is going to be, welcome. This is going to be a reading on the collective. Today is probably one of the most important days of the year, and that's saying a lot because we've got a lot of important days. Today is 9/9/2025, makes it a triple nine. Thank you. Thank you, my love, for being there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well? I want to make sure, can you hear me? Feeling Tara, you want to say, can you hear me? I want to make sure we can be heard with the microphone being what it is. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I hope it sounds good. Okay, so we're going to go right into, a reading, and I'm going to wait until a lot more people join. And while I wait for more people to join, I'm going to actually take the liberty of pulling out a card. Believe it or not, there's an oracle deck called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. It's based on Khalil Gibran's great work called The Prophet, and it's a book that everyone should have in. There's an echo here. Is there an echo, Jillian? Is there an echo? I'm hoping not. I can put the microphone farther back. How's that sound? Better? So anyway, this, if you could respond, or no? If you can respond, that'd be great. If not, I'll just continue, and then we'll go from there. So, okay, so the microphone was so close to me. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is waiting for people to get on. I'll be saging the cards in a minute, but for now, we're going to go right into the Prophet by Khalil Gibran, and it's an oracle deck. Okay, so I'd like you guys to give your angels, guides, and allies permission to guide you and to get the message you need. For those of you who will hear this recording, please do the same. I'm starting to believe that sometimes what I may pull, this is going to sound really strange, but there's a certain number that's very close to me, very, very close to me. I'm not going to say it here because it's public and I don't want it to be known publicly. But there's a number that's very close to me. And whenever I look at things 10, 20 times a day, that number pops out. If they say I'll give you an example of a number that has no relations to me. The number that comes up, let's say it meant something to me, would be 12. And every time I see anything, it'll say 12 troops came into town today. It'll say 12 years ago, this and that happened. Okay? So I'm starting to believe that not everyone's seeing that. I remember going to the DMV, and every license plate on the wall, they were showing all their license plate. It said 12, everything was 12. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. And I'm starting to believe that if I pull a card, right, I might see a card, and I might read you a card, and that you will eventually, especially on the recorded one, you might get a completely different fucking card. Completely different, and I'm not aware of it. And that sounds very woohoo, but a lot of woohoo shit's happening in terms of timelines, in terms of all kinds of things. So you either can relate to it or not. I don't know, but it's something I've noticed. There's a card that I'm pulling out. It's number 8, and 8 is a karmic number. It's the infinity loop if you have it sideways. Okay, this is like overcoming a number. And when you have it up and down, it's all you have shall someday be given. And it's about giving. So I'm going to read this to you, and then as more people come on, I'll start reading. And it's funny, we have 8 people, so this is appropriate. So the card is number 8, and it's all you have shall someday be given. Giving. It is well to give when asked, but it is better to give unasked through understanding. And to the open-handed, the search for one who shall receive it is joy greater than giving. Is there aught you would withhold? All you have shall someday be given. Therefore give now, that the season of giving may be yours and not your inheritors. You often say, I would give, but only to the deserving. The trees in your orchard say not so, nor the flock in your pasture. They give that they may live. For to withhold is to perish. This is very important card. Yeah, there are it's a two-way street. You give praise not when people are dead, but when people are alive. You give praise. You give an eulogy not when people are dead, but when people are alive. In other words, if you love someone, don't tell them how much you love them, how much they impacted you. Don't tell those funny stories standing at a eulogy. Say it to them while they're alive. Similarly, if you're alive and you have all this wealth and things and possessions to give it away while you're alive, not when you're dead. So I think it's a great lesson, and I think it's a good way for us to start. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm saging the cards. I think that was an excellent way to start this reading. And so saging the cards, and the question I want us to focus on, as always, and you say it in a more personal way, am I walking my ascension path? Am I on the journey? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I honoring my path? Am I honoring my soul? Am I doing what my soul contract, how I wrote it out with my guides? And am I actually in the process of accomplishing this act of ascension while I purge, while I forgive myself and others, while I rise into my own power, not from a place of egoic arrogance, but a place of great humility, understanding I'm a conduit for myself, for those who I love, and for those I will never meet. I'm a conduit of enlightenment. And when you're ready, you're going to pick right, left, or middle, but you're going to do it in such a way that, you have to understand majority wins. So when you're ready, just say right or left or middle. Pick one, and then majority wins. Thank you, IP. It's good to see you. And when you're ready, pick one. And okay, perfect. Right. Let's do it. I'm starting. Okay, first card is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is probably the bastard of the tarot. It represents law. It represents police, military, judges, a coldness. Yes, it's attached to the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Yes, it is an air sign, but when it comes up like this in a collective reading, there's something very sinister, they're telling me to say, that's sitting right in the middle of the reading. So we started out with something that's cold, logical, analytical. It's not good, okay? But that's okay. Let's keep going, because I'm going to clarify, okay? And the Four of Pentacles is slammed across the King of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles, though it's been neutralized, right, is basically, it's somebody holding on through a miserly energy of greed, of avarice. In other words, holding on to bullshit, holding on to things. The Queen of Cups comes in, and she's trying to balance out the energy. And the energy is, and the Queen of Cups is like the biggest loving energy of all the four queens. Crowning the reading is the Three of Pentacles. And we'll see if it's mastery or if it's about the third party. The third party isn't just a human being, like a lover or a mistress. Okay, the Three of Pentacles as a third party energy could be, and most likely is, your environment, the infrastructure. Okay, because again, remember, we're asking, am I on my path as a soul being? So recent past, Temperance is Angel Michael going through a transformation, like transforming two cups. And in your case, it's you, probably the ego and the soul, very close to the concept of the Strength card, right? The Strength card, number 8, by the way, 8 again. Below that, the foundation of the reading is Six of Pentacles, and it's an attempt to balance out the give and take, not to be an overgiver, not to be an overtaker either. It's almost like you're doing like a meditation of I give and I receive, I give and I receive, so that there's a balanced flow. Okay, so we've got three of pentacles, the King of Swords, into the Four of Pentacles sideways, which is neutralizing, holding on to bullshit, into the Queen of Cups, beautiful Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer energy, love. And here, boom, the Empress comes in. So we've got the Three of Pentacles and the Empress. Empress is Libra, Taurus energy, but it's connected to the cornucopia of great abundance. There's no need to chase abundance. Abundance will come to you. Michael Singer's The Book, The Surrender Experiment, is a great example of that in action. It is probably the best book to ever show you that when you are in your peace, when you control your monkey mind, you are the Empress, because the money will come to you and follow you like little puppies. Wherever you go, those puppies will follow you. Wherever you go, abundance will follow you. Continuing into the Magician. Excellent. Magician is somebody who comes in an energy like a Merlin, like a high priest, high priestess, coming in to alchemize the energy around you. And we did a whole live this morning, which you can check out if you. It's free to Patreon members if you're free. I mean, I have a free Patreon thing just in case. Okay, but it's for you. And the Magician is coming in saying, in the material world, I will manifest X, Y, and Z, right? And then the Four of Cups is people, not everyone. It's outside your realm. In other words, it's outside your full control. The Four of Cups is saying, with what you offer the world, okay, will not be received by everyone. Four of Cups is an opportunity being given, and the person going, like saying, I don't see your magic, or I don't believe in your magic, or you're kind of cuckoo, and I'm not interested in what you're saying. The ninth position, interestingly enough, is the Five of Wands, is outside distractions, people competing with you or what have you. And then you've got the Devil. The Devil, by the way, is Capricorn energy, and it's a very important energy because the Devil is what happens to you if you succumb to the energies of the warmongers, the greedy motherfuckers that have made all of our lives very difficult. Your parents' lives, I don't give a shit what people say. Boomers didn't have it good either, okay? Not everybody could afford a $4,000 house. Okay, stop crying for the past. The past was never good. We haven't had freedom in 2,000 years at least, if not 3,000. So I want you to understand the Devil isn't you, except it becomes you, okay? The Devil becomes you when the environment, the infrastructure, the system of oppression is so fucked up that you start actually cannibalizing yourself. And what I mean by that is cannibalizing yourself by self-harm, by doing things that you know is going to self-sabotage your journey, by suddenly, going a week without meditation, and that turns into fucking months and years. And suddenly you don't feel good, and you've forgotten what it was that made you feel good, which if you follow what we talk about, you know that meditation will clear your mind and reset yourself every time. Breath work will reset yourself every time. Trust me, I know it's difficult. Okay, so let's clarify. Why is the King of Swords here? What's with this bullshit energy, please? The Magician is here. There's a narcissistic energy. The Empress is here. Okay, to the Two of Pentacles. Aha. Okay. So either you're dealing with some narcissistic crap, your boss, a lover, a husband, a wife, a mother, a father, a sibling, or, God forbid, well, you and I, we are actually watching narcissists on the world stage making decisions that you and I are literally in horror. So when you have the Magician with the, King of Swords, it's pretty serious. But then here comes the Empress, right? Again, the cornucopia of abundance into the Two of Pentacles, juggling material concerns. What makes sense? Don't panic. Don't panic. Because narcissism is one energy that can only be, overcome from a place of loving energy, which means what? It means trusting that we're just destined to win, that you're destined to win. That if you keep on your focus, if you do what you're supposed to do personally on a day-by-day level, just you, right? That you're going to be fine. Not to panic in the Two of Pentacles, trying to triage what's important. Let the universe guide you. And the only way you can actually get heart coherence to what the universe wants you to do, right, is to sit still in meditation, breath work, chanting, going on a long, sweaty hike in the mountains or on a beach, swimming laps in your swimming pool. I mean, I'm exerting yourself physically so that you literally knock yourself out of this malaise, this depression, this feeling of impotency, right? Three of Pentacles. Is this mastery, or what is this? The Chariot, Cancer energy, to the Knight of Swords, to the High Priestess. This is a kick-ass fucking reading. Holy shit. Because you see here, we have the Three of Pentacles, which actually is not mastery, not yet. What it is it's going to morph. What it is the Three of Pentacles is third-party energy that's moving really fast. And it's moving across the world. There's the World card, and then we have Chariot, about traveling. And so on a spiritual level, you're traveling, right, into the Nine of Swords. 9. Again, 9. Have you noticed? 9 of Swords is saying, I have anxiety. I can't sleep. I feel like shit. What the fuck's going on? Or I'm exhausted, but I'm so exhausted, I can't sleep well. Or I sleep like a log and I wake up exhausted. And I have anxiety, but everything's good in my outer world, meaning your bills are paid, your house is fine, everything's fine, but you feel this sense of gnawing in your pit of your belly. And here comes the High Priestess. And this is where tarot is really interesting because it morphs, you see? Because now we have the companionship, because we've got two magicians on the table, right? One is next to the King of Swords, talking about narcissistic energy, which we know is happening from world leaders. That's what's happening. But there's another magician that actually represents you completely in the 7th position. And again, 7 meaning traveling. It used to mean the 7 chakras. We have 9, right? 9 chakras. But here comes the High Priestess to the magician, and they become the divine powers. The masculine and feminine are now the big co-creators of this planet. And in your case, your anima and animus within you, your feminine and masculine within you, co-creating what you want to co-create. And panic doesn't co-create shit. Chaos does not co-create anything. You co-create by keeping your shit together. That's okay. All right. So thank you, my love. So we're going to go to the Four of Pentacles. Why is the Four of Pentacles here, please? Here comes, I'm not joking. This is insane. So the Four of Pentacles is a greedy, miserly person that's been neutralized sideways into the Temperance. Temperance is something returning, by the way. 14 is connected to magnetic communication with the public, which means it's not always about talking. It's about drumming. It's about dancing. It's about writing poetry. It's about vlogging, blogging. You get it, right? And beyond, so on. Architecture is a form of communication and so forth. Let's continue. And here comes death. Death, Scorpio energy, 13. 13, Friday the 13th, Knights Templars, the day they were slaughtered. 13 is a transformational time. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. But it's necessary. Things must die for things to be born again, right? So it's a rebirth that is not pleasant. There's a transformation going on. It's going very slowly with Temperance. Angel Michael's doing his thing, but here comes death because it's almost like chariots coming over. It's like the shadow of speed going. We gotta pump. Like put the metal to the pedal to the metal. We're gonna go from 60 to 120 miles an hour. Tell me more, please. Why? The Fool. Perfect. Love this reading for us. I got chills. Because the Fool is 0. Why are we saying 0? Setting yourself back to 0. That doesn't mean you're going backwards in failure. It means that we're going back to our original power, our original memory of who we are. And it's saying you are more than what you see in the mirror. You are more than what is perceived by the outside world. The Fool is taking a leap of faith off the cliff, and literally walking across the other side of the mountain. It reminds me again of Indiana Jones in, it was the, what was it called? The Holy Grail. Do you remember that scene where Indiana Jones has to look down to this ravine and he's like, shit, And he has to, the Knights Templar, where the knights on the other side is got the grail, and he's got to pick one of the grails. But anyway, he has to cross it, and it's a ravine, and it goes on for miles. And he puts one foot out, and it's solid, even though he can look down, and there's nothing there to hold his foot. And so, in a way, it's this incredible leap of faith to what is about to transform you, us, the planet. And though you don't have a safety net, and though you can't see below your feet, it's there. Does that make sense? Okay. The Queen of Cups, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer energy into the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a woman with a hawk on her fist, and she is so confident. She has money. She has power. She doesn't need shit from anyone because she's in her mojo. She can help other people. She doesn't need anyone to help her. So let's continue into the Hierophant, Taurus energy, the highest level of spirituality for Taurians. And what that means is what's traditional values. We know this. It is the Pope, actually. Okay, in ancient, older tarot cards in France, it was called la papesse. It was called the female Pope because there was a Pope, and I've said it before, Pope Joan. But it's about a devotion to God, is what I'm going to say. And a devotion to God that is from a place of pure hearts. Many of us are deconstructing ancient scriptures, right? I'm not talking about just the Bible. I'm talking about all of it. All of it. We are fucking taking the Wizard of Oz's curtain, right? Down. We're tearing the shit down with our knowledge, with our sharing, with our posting. And Knight of Swords is an angry messenger, almost brutally, like, get the fuck out of my way type of energy. Tell me why he's coming in. Eight of Wands, fast moving energy of messages into the Hierophant, the high priest once again. It's demanding truth. You want to believe in this religion that's caused so much bloodshed? Well, but I want the truth because this was never the truth. 1,200 years of this, 1,500 years of this, it was never the truth. We want the truth. And this is what is happening in the planet while people are losing their lives. And, I know that I put it so it doesn't sound like I'm a complete idiot. It's interesting to note that, and this is something we need to start understanding. That's not to make us cold, because how a person dies is as important as how they lived. And if they die thinking no one cared about them, no one loved them, in fact, people wanted them to die like that, that is a very bad way for a soul to die. But when they pass through the gates and they go through the corridors of light, eventually they are held so beautifully, and they are told how millions of people cared, and that people were howling for justice for them. They get to realize, they get to be shown that even though, yes, in the moment when you died, this happened. Why am I saying that? Because we are here as the light bringers. And there are light bringers on the other side that are taking these souls in and going, yes, but look, here's some, and they show them how people felt, how much people fought for them, for their right to exist, for their right to defend themselves, for their right to be loved, for the right to have a shelter, water, and food. And so far I'm impressed, because whatever you guys are fucking doing it, you're doing it, okay? The Empress, why is she here, please? What's going on with the Empress? I'll be interested not to see if all we see is feminine energy, and a very narcissistic energy, which we know is not you. It's what's going on outside of your realm. We're fucking kicking ass here. Why is the Empress here, please? The Eight of Swords. A problem is your sense of impotence. Again, remember 8, the original? Give while you live. You giving your energy in a meditation, you giving $2 in a donation to anyone you feel, you donating whatever you have, you feeling for someone for that 5, 10, 20 minutes is a gift There's no number to that gift. It can't be quantified. It's your presence, your empathy is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, energetically speaking. This is what you need to understand. So the Empress feels impotent, Eight of Swords, prison of her own mind, but the Eight of Wands is coming in on doves. Eight of Wands on doves. Impotent, Eight of Swords, prison of her own mind, but the Eight of Wands is coming in on doves. Eight of Wands on doves. You're not going to please everyone. Page of Swords, learn, research, become a scholar, be an excavator, one of the great architects of this new age. Magician, please tell me why the Magician is here as well. Five of Cups, disappointment. Six of Wands, a conquering hero. Seven of Pentacles, what do I do next? So the Magician is disappointed because many times you've actually tried to manifest X, Y, and Z and you failed. You didn't fail. You didn't actually fail at all. What happened is that you won. What did you win? You learned how to refine the way you desired. You refined the way you pursued what you wanted, or you refine even better how you brought the things you wanted to be so attracted to you that it was a beautiful collision that turned into a tango. In other words, you learned. So the Five of Cups is this disappointment, but there are 3 cups on the ground and 2 cups behind you, but you're not looking at, you're so busy looking at the present failures in your mind that you're not turning around looking at a new future. Take the new road. The Six of Wands says you will win many battles to win the war, and the Seven of Pentacles will come in. You'll say, okay, what's next? Bravo. Yeah, what is next? That's exciting. Four of Cups comes in again with the same kind of energy as the Four of Pentacles, which is you're not for everyone. You're going to lose friends a lot because as you ascend, you will no longer be a match to them. You will make them uncomfortable in your presence. Very similar to what twin flames do to each other, except you will make them uncomfortable. They will know that they're full of shit. And though you will be silent in a room, on Thanksgiving dinner, wherever the fuck you meet these people, whether they're your blood relatives or not, you will make them feel uncomfortable and you will say nothing. And you'll actually say, what did I say? Did I say anything? They will not be able to sit in your presence. You will lose friends. They'll make you uncomfortable. So four cups, why is it here, please? Eight of Pentacles, learning new things. 10 of Pentacles, what you're learning, what you will share while you're alive, what you've learned, how you write, how you journal, how you blog, whatever, will actually go into perpetuity, which means it will be passed down to your lineage, the current lineage that you've taken on. You've adopted this bloodline you're in. It's kind of like you're mentoring this bloodline. Do you see what I'm saying? They need help and you're in and you took, oh yeah, sure, I'll be Norwegian. Oh, sure, I'll be a part African American, part Hindustani, and part Chinese. Sure, I'll do that. You see what I'm saying? And so you're going to be using these bloodlines with all these DNAs intertwined or various types of traumas that you're cleaning up, right? It's like you're cleaning up the bloodline, literally. And this will probably go on to benefit these bloodlines because eventually you'll drop your body and you won't be that bloodline anymore, you know. But they will benefit for 7 generations out or more into the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords concerns me because it's an exhaustion. And the exhaustion outside of yourself, is that it? Ace of Wands, a new beginning. 6 of Pentacles, balancing the give and take, and the Four of Swords. They're telling, okay, the shit outside on the planet is going to fucking be exhausting. There's a lot of fours, and you need to rest. The Four of Swords isn't like the Hangman or the Hermit. In that the Four of Swords is you're draining yourself. You're burning the candles by both ends. Your frustration with the system as it unfolds its fuckery is making you sick. And so what you have to do is before it gets to the Four of Swords, right? Before you get to that point where you're literally blowing out your adrenal glands, that kind of thing, that you slow your roll. Go rent a cabin with a couple friends up in the mountains with the promise no fucking social media, and you wake up with birds singing and fuck, if you're lucky, go out there and nude as the sun rises. and stretch and do some yoga. You need to you're going to have to unplug here and there, and you're going to have to do it before you hit the Four Swords energy. I would rather you get into the hermit energy, which is 9. Again, 9, hermit. Hermit is caveman time. It's cavewoman time. It's I'm going to do a silent retreat. I have a friend actually who every year doesn't take phone calls, doesn't talk at all for a whole 24 hours. You might want to think about doing that. I've never done it because I can't, but there are people that do 10-day retreats. I would love to do that, or 5-day retreats where it's absolute silence. And yeah, you deal with your shit. It starts coming up, but it also recalibrates you. Okay, so the horn god, which is the devil, Capricorn energy. What is that? The King of Swords, narcissism. This isn't you. And I know for a fact it's not you. What's happening? Remember the King of Swords with the magician in the beginning? It's following you, right? So you're going to be doing all this kumbaya. You're going to be feeling so fabulous. You're going to rest and take a couple days in the woods or on the beach, retreat. You're going to go up to Boston, get some clam chowder or whatever, bundle up and take a long walk in Cape Cod, whatever, right? And then you're going to go, fuck. You're going to look at your social media. Here comes another attack, another human rights violation, another, member of your family, a boss that just really is fucking with your day. Here comes the narcissist. And so tell me more about this. What's going on? The 9 of Cups, be in your power. 2 of Swords, blindfolded. Is the 2 of Swords the person that we're talking about here? The 8 of Cups, walk away. Remember, 8 keeps going. The Fool, trust in the process. The 9 of Swords, anxiety. The Knight of Wands, wishy-washy energy. Okay, listen, here's the thing, okay? I'm begging you. I'm actually going to beg you. You are taking the outward reality to heart to such a level that you're actually thinking that everything you're doing is not sticking, okay? You're actually thinking that all the work you've been doing is for nothing. That maybe you're not ready, that maybe you're not healed, that maybe that's why you're attracting shit in your life, because you're fucking up, and there comes the self-talk, the self-denial, and then eventually self-sabotage. Okay, can they win this? Can they overcome this? Is there a way out? The Hermit, there. What did I say? The King of Pentacles. Okay, yes. The 6 of Cups. Bravo, bravo. Okay, so the King of Pentacles is a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy. It's a very grounded energy. It's a fatherly energy. It's a masculine, nurturing energy. It's beautiful. And before that was the Hermit. The Hermit is introspective energy, going, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, is there something wrong with me? Because I'm still feeling like nothing I do is successful. Nothing I do. And so here comes the King of Pentacles saying, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're grounded. In other words, you and I and the planet right now, many of us have planted tomato seeds and cucumber seeds and seeds of that nature and eggplants. And the tomatoes are just exploding with tomatoes. But the eggplant never made it. But we've got zucchini and cucumbers. And so you have to look at things not from what failed, but what actually came through. The 6 of Cups isn't just something returning, but it's also soul tribe members coming from the past, moving up, rising, bumping into them, meeting them on this app or other apps. Like just connecting. I can't tell you how many people I've met on this app that I just heard their voice or saw and I went, wait, hang on. Is this a lost soul tribe member? And sure enough, we connect and we've become friends. So 6 of Cups is the rising of all of the star seeds you thought you'd never meet. And here they're coming. They're coming. You're attracting them. Tell me more about this. What else happens to them? The 2 of Wands, you'll have the world in your hand. The 4 of Cups, there will be some people that don't want to do this with you. Be not the person who is the person ignoring the opportunity out of fear, out of bullshit, like I'm not ready, I'm still in the process, maybe in a year from now, that kind of thing. Don't do that. But the 4 of Cups is also that you are not, again, the repeat message, you're not for everyone. The Ace of Cups is the final card, and I'll call it the final card because the Ace of Cups is saying, and it's like it's a cup floating over the ocean of consciousness. And it's coming to you saying, you are so loved and you are so amazing at the capacity of your ability to love others. You love not only yourself, you're learning how to love yourself, but you love people with such unconditional love, and you love and care about people you'll never meet. That makes you extraordinary. And so we're going to offer you this cup, this filled cup of love, so that you can drink from it, drink from this nectar, so that you can get this B12 shot to your spirit to go on. Because every move you make is so important to the evolution of this planet. And so it's the gift. It's the gift through the chaos. It's literally walking across minefields, barefoot, broken glass, bleeding feet, watching corpses by the side of the road, and coming to this incredible opening where the sun is rising and the colors are colors you've never known existed before. It might be a metaphor, but is it really? Because I can tell you that what I've just described is your auric field expanding and growing and pollinating the planet. Because maybe your auric field is only, I don't know, a foot away from your body, maybe 2 feet, but then it expands 20, 30, 100, 200, 300 miles out and beyond. And that's why we only need 144,000. Because imagine that. Auric field spreading across the ocean. So are you doing well? Well, it looks like you are. It looks like you're actually fucking taking command of your path. It looks like, and let me put it this way, and it's a joke, but not really. I think you're more afraid of failing and being on the other side of the veils when you finally die, when you drop your body. I think you're more afraid of failing and going, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, you mean I could have done? Oh, no. You mean that was just temporary? And you're more afraid of that conversation than sitting across from your guide, your team, and going, oh, yeah, I kicked ass. Oh, yeah, that was amazing. I never thought I'd get through this, but I did. And this is where you have to get to this place of, I don't know, putting yourself in such a state of urgency and trust, being in the energy of the Fool. And the Fool is like so... It's like, oh my God, it's like being a kid that's excited that Christmas is coming, that you know that no matter what, 5D is here. 5D is here. New Earth is here. This system cannot exist because no one is consenting to it. So it's a movement. The next message I'd like to ask is, the next message. Well, I mean, let me ask. Let me pick a question. But again, let it be the collective. What is the message that you like to, or question you like to ask on the collective? Like, if you could type up, and I'll pick a question. Okay. I'm feeling. The question I'm asking, and I'm going to do it quick while I wait for you guys to type, is, are they going to become transcendental? The King of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. Tell me more. The celebration, 3 of Cups, and the reunion of other souls like you. The King of Swords is something that you're going to have to go, you've got to climb over this. I'm sorry, I can't talk. You've got to climb over the King of Swords. The King of Swords is the, yes, I will ask that. Will we be free? I will totally ask that. And I'll do a very intense reading on that question because it's very important. Will we be free? I'm picking that question. So the King of Swords is the infrastructure. It's the fuckery of the leaders of this planet. It's the insanity going on. So that's right here. The Ace of Wands coming in as a new beginning. The Ace of Wands is interesting because it's about passion and creativity. Okay, and it has springs of flowers. Think of it as a cherry blossom blooming from just a staff, just a stick, and being held by a hand, and these beautiful cherry blossoms growing out of it. So beginning, like spring. The Queen of Pentacles comes in. Why is she important? Because this is Mother Gaia. I mean, honestly, technically, it would be Empress, but the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy, is a very stable motherly figure. She holds the disc. She holds a gold coin, but she's holding the planet on her lap. And here comes the Three of Cups, which is love, which is reunion, which is celebration. It also means the birth, celebrating the birth of a child, the birth of a new way of living. And I see again a disc, the sun above them as they're dancing. So the question again was, are they going to become transcendental? And the answer is yes. As long as you can understand that you have to stop fucking thinking that the 1% that these leaders, these narcissistic leaders are the end all be all. The end all be all. They're not. They're not. Okay, so the question we're asking, and this is when you come in, is will we be free? And then that's an interesting question, Tim. Will the inner self drop and stay in self? That's an interesting question. But let me go with, will we be free? And so you guys, majority wins, pick right, left, or middle, because I want it to be out of my hands. Pick right, left, or middle. Let's see what is said, what is shared. Okay? Will we be free? Will this planet be free? Is this planet destined to be free? Free from this bullshit, free from this infrastructure, free from this injustice, free from the oppression. Will we be free? And when you're ready, pick right, left, or middle. Middle. Okay, you got it. Middle. Middle is what I'm picking. All right, let's do it. Middle. All right. The Page of Cups is a message. The Page of Cups is a child. In this case, it's a child coming. It's an innocent child that's coming with a message, literally standing on a rock with the ocean raging. Beautiful. The Five of Pentacles crossing the energy, which is neutralizing it, is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is typically upright. It would be feeling homeless. There's no way in. Poor, starving, and freezing. Okay? The Six of Pentacles is mercy, a balance of the give and take. I give and I receive. I give and I receive kind of energy. Crowning the reading is, again, the Empress. Again, she, interestingly enough, she's actually sitting. These are Celtic cards that I'm playing with, and it represents the three graces. Remember the last card? Will you guys be transcendental? It was the three graces. The mind, body, and spirit in balance. I said that the Queen of Pentacles was showing up, and it should have been Empress, but wow, well, here's the Empress saying, again, Mother Gaia, right? Mother Gaia is here. Abundance, abundanza. In the recent past, we have the Nine of Swords, anxiety, unable to sleep, until the Three of Swords, absolutely destroyed. For many of you, you had to see the most horrific things to stop being cynical. The irony is not lost on me. You had to, because as long as you thought this machine was fair, for the most part, and you went on with your life, and things, well, my family did this, and I'm doing this, and we've all done this, and this is how we've all lived. But your heart had to be fractured, shattered, it had to implode for you to wake up. So thank the universe for the shakeup. Thank it every day, because you wouldn't be here today as you are. And God bless you for who you are now. And so now we have the Empress to the Page of Cups. The Five of Pentacles is the fear. Oh my God, are we gonna be homeless? It's gonna be Mad Max. What's going on? Six of Pentacles is going, no. It's merciful. It's a balance of give and take. And here comes a Hierophant in the high spiritual journey. And next to him, and I'm gonna pay attention to that, is a harp. It's the Celtic harp. And it's interesting because the harp is very evocative. It's very I'm getting a sense of frequency shifts, sounds, like be aware of what you are tolerating to listen to. Like turn off the fucking TV with the football games and the people raging. Yeah, turn that shit off. Turn on high frequency music. Will we be free is the question. The levels of freedom that is going to occur are in layers. And one of them is frequency. And if you've studied anything like we've all studied, right? On the walls of Jericho, that was a frequency. The Tibetans with their long, comment on dit, trumpets. And it's reported that they could actually move monoliths with their sound frequency, with their trumpets. More and more they're reporting it must have been frequency for the pyramids of Giza. So frequency is shifting. The Schumann resonance, frequency. So sound, frequency, okay? All right, let's continue. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving offer. You said, will we be free? The Knight of Pentacles comes slowly on a slow stallion, holding the coin, holding the world, a new earth. It's coming. If I was going to write a check for $10 million through snail mail, and I just put a 50-cent stamp on it, and you're like, what the, wait, hang on, did you send me a check for $10 million by snail mail? Are you for real? You would get it in 10 days, and the check would be good to cash, and they would honor the check. This is what Knight of Pentacles says. It's saying, yes, it's coming. Yes, you will be free. Yes, it is coming. It's taking a while, but it's positively going to happen. And it's going through its journey. And this is something that you have to understand. So you don't let up your power, your focus, your intention, your manifestation, right? Your receiving and giving. You continue. 6 of Cups. Something from the past is coming. All I can say when I see that is Atlantis in the Golden Age. Lemuria before it was destroyed. Not because, and it's not because we're going backwards to that. We're definitely going forward to another type of age, another golden age, a Satya Yuga time. Yes. But what they're saying is, listen to me because this is important. You and I have been in Lemuria, have been starseeds that landed when there was a golden age in Atlantis. 500, 600, 700 years before it ever collapsed. Yes. So when you see the 6 of Cups, it's something returning back, and the soul tribes are coming. Okay, the starseed tribes are. I love this fucking reading. Again, will we be free? Yes. 6 of Cups. Yes. Knight of Pentacles. Yes. And the Ace of Wands is the final card. Fuck yes. And again, remember the Ace of Wands: creativity, nurturing, a spring. With these orange, it could be orange blossoms, cherry blossoms, whatever growing from this wand. Yes. So it's yes. I mean, honestly, I'll just clarify a little bit. Tell me about the Page of Cups. Knight of Cups, an offer of love. 9 of Wands, I'm so tired. Will we ever get there? And the Chariot is saying, oh yeah, we're getting there. Here, get in. I've got my Ferrari. Get in. Let's go. We're going. And we'll get there. The Empress, the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is your consciousness. Your monkey mind is your worst enemy. And the Knight of Wands is wishy-washy energy. But it's not possible. We've never won. We'll always lose. You have been conditioned like a Pavlov's dog. When I ring the bell, you salivate. I control you if I control your mind. That should piss you off. Knight of Wands is you going up and down, back and forth, not believing, fearing. 3 of Swords, and then your heart gets broken, and the world is saying, but we're going through another chapter. We're going through Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga. Don't you get that? We're doing it. Stay the line. Stay the course. Why is there 5 of Pentacles here? So again, you got to chant. You got to keep chanting and keep chanting. For those of you who are Patreon members, I just put on a chant of Lakshmi for you guys. 5 of Pentacles, what's going on? The Hangman, seeing things from a different perspective. The 3 of Wands, the portals have opened. It's time. The portals have opened. It's time. Into the High Priestess. Hallelujah. What is it? The High Priestess is saying, it is in the astrology. It is written. It is the age of Aquarius. Why are you second guessing this fact? It would be like me giving you an apple, a beautiful Macintosh, right? And you're looking at it to determine whether or not I truly gave you an apple. And then biting into it and questioning the flavor of the apple. It's that absurd and that pedestrian. In other words, don't you see the signs? And so the high priest is coming in with her psychic powers going, you already know that you've won. The problem is, do you feel worthy of being part of a planet that wins? Or do you feel like you should punish yourself? Or do you feel like you should sacrifice yourself? And, stay behind. Stay behind. For what? For what? The Six of Pentacles is the balance of give and take. The Four of Pentacles is holding on to bullshit. The Queen of Wands is a go-getter. Fire sign. It's what is it? Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius energy. She is like the CEO. She makes shit happen. And the Ace of Pentacles, again, now we're looking at the disc. And a new beginning on this planet in the material world. The Hierophant, why is it here, please? What's going on with the Hierophant? What's up with that? The Three of Cups, celebration. The Six of Cups, we're returning into the King of Pentacles. This is a kick-ass reading. You ask, are we going to be free? I hope you can read patterns because it's saying, yeah. The only thing stopping you is you. It's not, the irony, you think it's the 1%. Actually, it's you. And the 1% loves that. They love that you think it's them. They control you with nothing, not even with spit and string. They control you remotely. You've heard of remote healing? Well, how about remote fucking with your head? Well, there you go. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Basically, you have it. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. Emperor energy to the Empress. Kick ass. Here comes the devil into the King of Cups. Yeah, it's the emotional turmoil. It's okay. And again, here we go again, because when we have now King of Swords to the devil is a narcissist. A devil to the Emperor is also a narcissist. So whoever is fucking with your head, you need to not be with them anymore. If they're fucking up with your energy and making you sick, you need to stop living with them. They need to fucking leave. I'm not joking. The King of Cups is here. Tell me more about the King of Cups. Why is the devil and the Emperor here? What the hell's going on? The Queen of Cups, beautiful, divine love into the Hangman. There's something better out there for you, and you're kicking rocks. The King and Queen of Cups are like, I mean, that's typically, basic tarot, but it is love. But the Hangman is 12, the sacrifice and the victim. Are they going to be able to move into power? Nine of Swords, anxiety. Six of Wands, you can win this. Five of Cups, but you keep looking at the past. Well, I never win. I'm never good at love. I never find love. I'll never find love. I'm just not good with people. I've tried to write a book, but I never could finish. You also couldn't ride a bicycle, but you tried until you could. You also didn't know how to walk, but you fell hundreds of times until you could walk. You also couldn't spell your name, but one day you could. What the fuck are you doing? What do you mean you're not good at love? What do you mean you're not good at finding love? What are you talking about? Seriously. Okay, let's keep going. Tell me more about the Six of Cups. The Six of Wands, a conquering hero. This is the battles won into the final war. The war is won. It's a conquering hero that comes in. It's celebration. It's 6. The Five of Pentacles, I feel homeless. The the Queen of Swords is, again, this cold energy. And why is this? Is this outside their power? Hang on. Is the Queen of Swords the 1%? Five of Wands. Does that mean yes? Hierophant. Okay. Does that mean, please confirm, the Three of Swords? Okay. Is the Queen of Swords them? The Two of Pentacles, the Sun, the Emperor. Okay, let me tell you what's going on. Because for me, readings morph, or else it'd be stagnant. It's boring. So I see you winning. I see the Five of Pentacles. And I see that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be uncomfortable, okay? And the Queen of Swords is weakening her hold. The Queen of Swords is the 1%. The Strength card is you. You're fighting between your ego and your soul, and your monkey mind might be winning. The Five of Wands is outside distractions. All kind. Here's an explosion. There's an explosion over there. There's a boom boom over there. In other words, all this shit's going on, creating chaos, because they want to bring you back to their system, which is Hierophant. And in this case, with the card surrounding you with the Three of Swords, It is the fuckery of annihilating your autonomy as a multidimensional being. When I asked, is it you, right? I got the Two of Pentacles, you juggling material concerns. You know, in fear, there's chaos here. The Sun is clarity to the Emperor. Is the Emperor the 1%? The Ace of Cups. Is it them then? The Ace of Swords. It's you. The Emperor. Okay, so it's interesting because the Emperor, when it's with the Empress, becomes a divine couple, similarly to Magician and the High Priestess, right? So in this case, it isn't. The Emperor is not the 1% in this particular case. It's you. By the way, in this particular card, there's the Ankh. There's the Ankh. He's holding the Ankh in one hand and a globe in the other. This is a different Emperor card, just so you know, from a different deck. And what's really cool is that we got the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Love and truth. Truth cannot exist without love, and love cannot exist without truth. When people cheat, whether it's political or in the bedroom, love cannot exist when there's a lie. Does that make sense? And so this is, so you become the Emperor. In other words, you and all of us start architecting a new world. That's exactly what it's showing me, okay? Tell me about the Ace of Wands. Do we win? Are we free? The Seven of Cups is absolutely confusing. The King of Wands is saying yes. The King of Wands to the Queen of Wands. Remember at the bottom? The Queen of Wands is actually a catty corner. And the Queen of Wands to the King of Wands, twin flame energy, but also the divine power couple. Imagine Alexander the Great with, it's the only way I can explain it. Alexander the Great with Cleopatra, or let's go more spiritual. Oh, well, the obvious would be Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. Another obvious would be Krishna Radha. So it's a morphing of power. The power morphs out of the 1%'s hands into the collective hands of the ones who come from a place of integrity, who come from a place of the Ace of Swords, Excalibur. Do you remember the sword Excalibur from the Knights Round Table? Remember? Knights Round Table? It no longer becomes the head of the table. See, we've had archetypes again and again. And so the Excalibur sword was a sword of honor and truth. That was, the caretaker was the Lady of the Lake, beneath the waters. The waters, the subconscious. And she also, if you ever watch the movie Mists of Avalon, which is such an amazing movie, you realize that we started getting fractured when we started going to war. Meaning, and that's an obvious, but there was a time when our lands were populated by people who were not warring motherfuckers, greedy fucks. There was a time when we lived in such harmony and peace that we were in the 5-6D right here on this planet. And so the Ace of Swords is a sword of truth that cuts away lies. Kind of like Wonder Woman's lasso, who made people tell the truth. And then you've got the Ace of Cups that comes from a place of co-creation. How was the entire universe built? By love and by desire. And there's deviant desires, and then there's loving, beautiful, tantric desires. And so when you ask, will we be free? The answer is yes. But again, the most important battle you're going to have isn't actually with the infrastructure, believe it or not. It's with your monkey mind. Your monkey mind will do everything for the 1%. Your monkey mind will absolutely capitulate if you allow it to continue driving you to the ground. Does that answer the question? Does that make sense? And so that's what you have to look at. So this is why I keep telling you to chant. This is why I keep telling you to work on your chakras. This is why all of you should be putting your lingam and your yoni out in the sun. You are a battery. The sun is energy. Put your fucking, you know what, your tchotchkes outside in the sun. And for men, it will increase your testosterone. And for women, it will actually boost your sexual desires, but most importantly, your creative desires, your ability to, cleanse your root chakra. Okay. And then you work on the mind by chanting, by reading beautiful works, by gazing on beautiful works of art, by musing, by automatic writing, by communicating with your light beings on the other side of the veils. You need to be doing this shit every day. This is not something you do, oh, I think I'll do it. I'm off on Sunday, let me do that. No, it's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. You push aside the doom scrolling, the stupid ass shows on TV. I mean, I love shows, don't get me wrong. I mention movies all the time, clearly. But there's a point where you have to communicate with your soul. You have to hear what your ego is doing in your body. This is a temporary vessel, right? So you need to sit and go, what is my monkey mind doing while I'm working? While I'm doing shit, I need to sit in silence and hear what my monkey mind is up to. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's funny how people think that meditation is about silence, when actually meditation is about mastering yourself, which means eventually, yes, you get to silence, but not right away. In fact, not for years, because the first thing you need to be comfortable with is listening to the fuckery of your monkey mind. And most people will get up within 2 minutes. They'll go on, my mind just won't stop. I just got to get up. But you see, that's the point. You've lost the plot of what meditation is. Meditation is mastering yourself by listening to the horror in your fucking head. And then using breathing, pranayama, to reset the thought, using mantras in Sanskrit, not in English, not in French, to reset the thought, to snip those synapses in your brain and to grow new ones that become your habit, so that you can actually become one of the great co-creating architects of the new earth. So the answer was yes. The answer is yes. You will be free. And in this planet, because I made sure to add that, in this planet, yes, you will be free. Okay? It's like you're inside my head right now. Oh, I don't know. So much truth. So much truth. If your words right now, Tony, thank you. You're welcome. It's good to see. We turn our backs on them and they fade away. Yes. As long as you put your attention. Remember I used to tell you this story all the time. Back in 2021, before that, right on the edge of, as 2021 was walking into our timeline, I remember I first saw what I would call a monk, and I can't give you I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but they were bald. It was genderless. It was like, okay, so anyway, they were sitting cross-legged with their backs to me, and I saw a 200-foot tsunami wave coming at them. I've told you this story before, but I'm going to tell it to you again, because I need you to remember that as a way to give you strength, okay? And as the waves came, as the wave is barreling, just imagine, just close your eyes for you can feel the sea spray. You can smell the ocean, right? The brine is coming at you. You can feel the wind of the power of that wave, right? And the instinct, the primal instinct is to get up and run. Run what? Run where? You're not winning this wave. You're not outrunning it. So this monk is sitting there, nun monk, in meditation, not moving, and going into, if this is my last minute on earth, I'm going to be in bliss, is the energy I got. And as the wave was about to crash over them, completely obliterating them from reality, from this reality into the next world, right? The wave exploded into millions of golden butterflies, dispersing, and the wave was gone. And I remember this image that came out of nowhere. Like, I don't even remember if I was in a meditation or not. I'm going to say I wasn't, but it's haunted me, and not in a bad way, in a way of realizing the level of surrender one has to be in to transmute what is put in front of us to make us so afraid that we collapse into a frequency so low that we can't overcome it. We drown in it. And the monk, nun, was so in surrender and trust. I died today? Okay. I lived today? Okay. And the wave became these golden butterflies. Again, the metamorphosis of a butterfly is well known as a symbol. And so, what I'm trying to tell you, I guess, is like try to realize that you will be tested. And you might, some of us will, face the last moment on earth. And again, I brought up the 900 people in England that were arrested, many of them boomers, many of them in their 70s, 80s, 90s, being arrested like common criminals, common thieves. You'd think they were rapists and pedophiles, but they weren't. They were good people who put their life on the line for people they'll never meet, and they will never see the benefit of the New Earth 5D. They won't. You know that. I know that. They're fertilizing apple trees and cherry trees for fruits they will never eat. And yet, they did it. Okay? And so, death has to become our ally, not our jailer. Fear can't be our jailer. In other words, we have to realize no matter what, you're not fucking surviving this life. And I think, and Carlos Castaneda really talks about this concept of overcoming the fear of your last breath. And instead of thinking of it as your last breath, think of it as your last breath here and your new breath in the next realm. So creating the new earth takes that kind of power and courage and faith and surrender. And I think this is how we are really going to become transcendental powerhouses. It's the very thing the 1% fears above all. And yes, empathy is worth more than $5 trillion. Because I mentioned before that there's a certain family, I can't say because I don't want this live shut down, but there's a certain, it starts with the letter R. So they have do you know what you and I in this room, what we would do with $5 trillion? Do you know what we would do? Do you know how different this plan? So it's not money anymore. We've transcended money. I'll tell you that now. It is energy. It is frequency. It is our ability to manifest and see the new earth. And our ability to do that is more precious than trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars. Your weight in gold, the planet's weight in gold, is not as precious as your ability to master your monkey mind and bring in the new earth. And let me tell you something, that's exactly, they fear you more than you'll ever know. And you will when you transcend all this, you'll realize it. You'll go, my God, yes, now I get it. Like you'll feel it in every cell of your body. Why? What they call the common man and woman who can overcome their little lives, little tiny lives, and thinking that's all there is. And once you overcome that, once you become transcendental, right off the bat, you become free. And I remember this saying by Albert Camus. I'm trying to remember it. Something about the invincibility of the summer. I forgot exactly, but it's one of the great quotes of Albert Camus about invincibility. But just your very existence. I remember him saying something to the effect, may your very existence be a rebellion. Something like that. Badly paraphrased, but there you go. And so your existence isn't just you punching the clock and being excited that Friday is coming and having cocktails for your friends. That is what they want you to do. They want you to beg for Friday. They want you to feel like you're on a hamster wheel to nowhere. They want you to feel the despair of this dead-end street, this dead-end life that has no color, no passion, no nectar, no end to it. They want to up the retirement age so you feel absolutely impotent, exhausted, and that you give up. They want you to give up. But see, once you unplug and none of this shit matters to you, you like literally don't give a fuck. Where you honestly fucking trust you're free. But then you create a planet that is free because it becomes a toppling domino effect. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? I hope you believe me. I hope you don't think I'm just fucking just talking to talk. Because as I'm saying this, I wish I could take a moment to tell you exactly when I faced homelessness at an age where that's even scarier than being 20. 20 and feeling homelessness. You got friends, you got couches, and you got potential lovers. You know what I mean? You become a homosexual, whatever. But to be homeless when you're at a certain age, yeah, that's serious shit. And what I can tell you is that I rose in the morning, okay? And I've said this story before, but I'll say it again. I rose in the morning and I was up in the mountains of Northern California, the Sierra Madres, and I was broke. I had like $600 to my name. And I'm going to tell you this story because it's important. And it was like 6 o'clock in the morning watching the sunrise. And I went, well, you know, what the fuck? I've never been homeless before. That should be interesting. I swear to God, I was calm as fuck, which shocked me. It's almost like I was witnessing myself live this moment within 3 hours. We're talking 9:30. I get a call from my friend saying there's a cabin, Wi-Fi is included, electricity is included, heat's included. They're asking 600. I go, I have 600. We'll get it down to 5. And you know what? By about 3 o'clock, I got the keys and I moved in. Because the universe saw that I was in such surrender that it said, oh, she learned the lesson. Well, I guess she doesn't need this lesson. Now you could say that I'm bullying and putting down homeless people. I'm not. I'm certainly not, because I've had people I really love who have lived that. But what I'm saying is, for whatever reason, that experience is something I'd like to share with you, to tell you that I'm going to say that the reason it didn't happen to me, never did, was because I didn't give a fuck. I saw it as another experience to live. It wasn't like I was going to be ashamed. I was never going to let anyone shame me for that. You see what I'm saying? And so what I'm trying to tell you is, don't give a fuck. Move and trust. And the doors will open and give you opportunities, fucking sometimes within hours. Clearly, that's what happened to me. Or within a week, you'll have an answer. Okay? But you have to be ready. You have to be willing, you know? And then I started when I began with my retreats and this and that. I swear to God, that's how it really actually. I used to do tarot readings, just so you know, on the side as a side for side money. You know, I did it for a professional company for years. I did it on the side for like 30 years. Okay, as side things. But the universe said it's time for you to never work for people ever again. Basically. Does that make sense? And so there was that moment, that hushed silence that said, is she going to take this tsunami? Or is she going to drown? Or is she going to transmute it? And so I want you to trust yourself. I want you to trust yourself. I am not some magical fucking manifesting queen telling you, no, I'm not. I am a human being like you, who has seen people manifest magic out of their ass. And one of the best manifestors I've ever met to this day was my father. He could manifest shit. Like, my mom and I would look at each other like, what? How the fuck did he do this? Out of nowhere. And it was probably because he had a Peter Pan. And he was like, I swear to God, I've had 3 Peter Pans in my life. One was my father. One was my twin. And one is one of my, I call him Peter Pan, because they're clueless. They don't realize that it can't happen. They go into situations and they have no clue. It shouldn't fucking it shouldn't fall into place. In their minds, it's fucking done. And so because they have this Peter Pan attitude, meaning this magical attitude, right? They make shit that you'd go, what the hell? How? And it just, boom, there it is. Okay? And my father can fucking manifest fucking a lot of money, like an obscene amount of money. It was weird. So, money is an interesting energy that many of us have struggled with, and some of us have inherited through our family lineage, and some of us inherited through past lives, which made us a frequency matched to families who also struggled with money, for example, right? So it's not our fault, okay? It's not this new age bullshit of, oh, you got a mirror. No, fuck that. It's just master your monkey mind. That's it. You have no curse. There's no family curse. No one's out to get you. Except I will say that if you're very, very powerful, you will attract nefarious entities. I will say that. I'm not going to bullshit you and go, oh, yeah, that never. No, it fucking happens. When you're really kicking ass and taking names and you are a scary fucking light being, oh, the demons are coming. And you know what? You tell them to fuck off. I'm not joking. I'm actually, it's not difficult. You don't have to pay someone to, you can sage your fucking house. I'll give you a quick story. We were saging the house with Kopal about 2 weeks ago. And I did the entire perimeters of the land, and I was chanting. I had my shaman drum, the whole bit, right? And so my son has a crystal skull that's a fluorite crystal. Okay, it's purple and green. If you know what fluorite is, it has a little green, but this one's mostly purple. Okay, just so you know. And we went into the basement, and I felt a masculine entity. And he said, there's something here. I go, okay. I said, where do you feel it? He said, over here. I go, okay. And I started drumming and chanting. I was actually drumming and chanting Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, and then Hare Krishna. And I was just sending a lot of loving light. And then I felt something dissipate. We left the quartz crystal at the bottom on the floor, right? And my son left the basement. He couldn't stay there anymore. And I kept drumming and drumming and drumming. And then I could feel that whatever was, and I was visualizing, I'm just giving you the whole thing of what I saw. And I was visualizing this silhouette masculine walking out towards a light. And I said to it, you need to keep going. You don't belong here. You don't deserve to be here. You deserve so much more than this. And it was all, in my mind. And I was pushing them out. And it was like a portal opened and then it closed. And at that point I walked out and he said it was a Native American. I went, I knew it was a man. He didn't tell me, I didn't tell him. It was like weird. He left that quartz crystal downstairs for like 5 days and he pulled it out and said, it's white. I went, what? He goes, no, it's fucking white. Whatever the hell was down there, whatever needed to be cleaned up, it's cleaned up. So he left it out in the sun for 5 more days, in the sun, in the sky of the night, and so forth. And eventually it regained its color. I kid you fucking not. So when I tell you that there are energies that will come, now this Native American person was not a nefarious character. It was a trapped energy. Could have been trapped in a holographic loop. It could have been, like I said, a holographic image, not the actual soul, but a thing that was perpetually playing itself out. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. But all I know is I saw the portal opening. So I don't know. I'm going to assume that whatever was there was, I do know it was completely released. And I'm going to assume that it could have been either a holographic loop or it was an actual soul trapped in a perpetual suffering. It was weeping. So it was released. And what really, that didn't shock me. What shocked me was the crystal turning white. And you know what a quartz crystal, clear quartz crystal looks like? When it has white in it, it has inclusions and so forth. It looked like that. It took 5 days in the sun, in the night sky to regain its color. So there are forces. When you, as a matter of fact, one of the great signs of your ascension journey, you're gonna laugh, is that when you're fucking making it, one of them will come after you. And you need to be as fucking nonchalant as I am. Don't panic. Don't freak the fuck out. Don't fucking hire some asshole. Just go to this recording and that's it. You sage, you chant, and you remove this motherfucker out of your realm, and that's the end of it. And that's it. You don't put any power into these energies. They're actually cowardly, thuggish energies. You do the rest. You know what's interesting about voodoo dolls? You know why they were so good? Because a voodoo doll, when a person found a voodoo doll under their bed or on the staircase of the entrance of their house, they immediately realized that they were being cursed. And so the monkey mind did the rest. They'd fall down the stairs, twist their ankles, panic, and they would create the chaos. But very few people, very, very few people have the power to put a curse on you. Very few. In fact, the ones that can are the elite. You know what I'm saying? They have that power. But even if they do, your power is much more, how would I put it? It's quantified by God. Your power is quantified by God because you're coming from a place of light and love, and they're coming from a place from subjugation, thuggish energy, and cruelty and avarice, all the energies that can't sustain themselves unless they do certain rituals. Does that make sense? So even if you're still a badass and you're still more powerful than them, you're still a ghostbuster, basically. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. So I just want to give you that. And of course, that may sound very woo-hoo, but there's no way I'm going to lie to you and act like, oh, yeah, no, kumbaya. Just keep your frequency high and let's have a cup of chai. And no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you what I know, what I've seen. And if you've ever followed me and seen all my life, you'll see. Thank you, my love. Thank you, sisters. That I've shared that here and there around these lives. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it shows the power of crystals as well. Love that. Yeah, I was like, I said, please. When my son said it's fucking white, I went, don't bring it in the house. Don't bring it in the house. Because of course I'm not going to bring it in the house. What do you think I am? So, fuck, leave it outside. So yeah. And you see, it's funny. It's nothing to freak out about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wouldn't go buy Amityville, the Amityville house. Some people have bought it. I wouldn't go buy it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stupid either. I wouldn't buy where they shot Rosemary's Baby, the apartment, the Dakota apartments. I wouldn't buy that apartment if you put a pew to my head. But there's because of the energy, the egregoric energy. But what I'm saying is, if you come across energies, you'll know, and you know how to handle it. And again, it's funny because when we bought the house, right? We knew there was an energy, but we knew, in fact, we have a couple, but we knew that they're all benign. And to be honest with you, they're all gone because we've done the copal saging, which is you use a feather, it's resin, it's called copal, and you put on your little charcoal, right, briquette, and you make sure that you have, because it's going to get hot as fuck, I'm not joking, so you got to have a little tray, you hold your urn or whatever little pot, clay pot that you have, and you waft every place with your feather, right? And while my son was doing that throughout the house, I was drumming and I was chanting Om Namah Shivaya and Om Dum Durgaye Namaha to remove any type of bullshit. And we went in the closets, in front of mirrors, in the toilets, in the shower. I kid you not, we were thorough. You know what I mean? So that's how you sage. And sometimes you need to do more than once, sometimes it takes a couple, a couple tries. Any questions or comments? So I'm going to do, because my phone is going kaput. And because I have this special microphone, hopefully this was a good experience for you and you're able to hear me. I am going to pull a card from Rumi, okay? And Alana Fairchild's Rumi. And I'm going to go with the card that I was going to ask you to get involved. How do you know which to use, Sage Copal or Palo Santo? No, I mean, I use Copal for the big work because, first of all, it's expensive as hell. I get it from a guy, and he gets it from a place in Mexico, in Oaxaca, and it's wrapped in corn leaves. So it's an incredible resin. Okay, it's the best Copal I've ever used. And Palo Santo and white sage, I use them together sometimes. So, and Palo Santo is very relaxing. Okay, when I used to do my fairs, when I used to do, readings in my fairs, I would just have Palo Santo burning. I would just keep it going. And people would literally ask me if they could sit next to me because they felt so relaxed. Like they'd literally say, can I come behind here and just lay down? I feel so relaxed. And that's Palo Santo. And men love Palo Santo. I've noticed the masculines are really attracted to Palo Santo. California white sage is what I use on my tarot cards. Copal is for the heavy duty work. So go ahead and you know what? I'm picking a card called Star Mother Akakis, and I'm going to read it to you. Star Mother Akakis, and the it's number 23. Okay, it's number 23, and I'm going to read it to you, and that will be how we end it. Okay, okay. It's page 106, which is 7, the journey. Be the king who has made his own kingdom. Be the moon that has made her own summit. How much longer will you cuckoo like a pigeon? Empty your head of all mortal lusts and become life without breath. You will not call out for God anymore, for you have become immersed in God. Rumi. Your star mother, Arrakis, dances with your soul on the celestial inner planets. She dances in the embrace of Father, sky shining white and pale, deep in devotion in the light behind all that is. Arrakis, dancing star of the heavens, incites our souls to feel the rhythm of life and surrender in it in a flow, in grace, stumbling in play, like a child who thinks not of the right steps, but just moves with music and with joy. She reminds you to dance freely from your own heart. She reminds you that your soul is constantly dancing with the divine. What better way to connect with the joy and beauty of your soul than to mimic its movement? So dance, beloved. Let your being dance, O Arrakis. Your bright beauty penetrates even the darkest of minds to remember, remember, remember. She calls out, her voice is music to our hearts. You are a child of heaven. You are born of such regal stuff, dear dancing child of the stars. When you suffer, I send you my comfort as stars falling from the sky. When you triumph, my dance becomes wild and light erupts from my heart in all directions. The light becomes music stirring within you with an urge, almost inexplicable and yet so very deep and real. To make music, to create art, to dance, to play, to be at one with the joyful, creative energy that dwells within you, beloved. Wow. There's more, but I'll leave it there. And this is from the book Rumi by Alana Fairchild. You can never go wrong with Rumi. So that was 23. I think this was a good way to go. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Follow me on Patreon and follow me on YouTube. This audio video will be on YouTube. And if you are, you can actually join as a free member of Patreon if you want to. We also have a circle that meets every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we meet for Twin Flames and Star Season Ascension. It's a support group on Zoom, and it's $9.99. And in that, I'm creating content. I just created content on the Lakshmi mantra to bring money into people's lives. So this was just uploaded today. And so some paying members get that. So for $9.99, you get that, and I'll be working on a guided meditation on the new earth, because I feel like we need more direction as to how to see it, or at least assist, with some beautiful evocative images, something that can relax your nervous system, I hope. So I'll create that. But I want to thank you, and you bring so much tears of gratitude to my eyes. I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you for all the years of you following me. I really appreciate. You are so amazing. We are all divinely held. We just need to know, trust, and loves this. Thank you. You're welcome. It's the 999 portal, and this is so special. Yes, it is, and we are kicking ass. Yes, we are going to be free. IP, that was a very good question. We are going to be free, but we need to free ourselves from our own monkey mind. The 1% have never held us enslaved. It was our monkey mind that agreed, like the elephant, the 2-ton elephant held by a plastic chair. Just remember that image when you start getting afraid. Okay? Remember that image. Okay? I love you too, Gemma. All right. And did you read the book? Because I know you read. Did you get a recall? You tell the truth. Don't lie. Are you enjoying it? Have you been able to read it, or you're not? Like, don't be kind. Just did you get it yet, or because I remember you saying you had ordered it, and I'm just curious. If you want to private message me, great. If not, I'd love to hear what you thought, so I'm just going to wait. If not, just say, oh, I'll tell you later. But I'm so happy. And did this microphone work for you guys? Did you feel like it was good? You were able to hear me? I love you too. Love you all. All right. Okay, Gemma, I'm just going to assume that I will tell you in PM. Okay, good. Yes, the mic sounds great. Okay, perfect. Love the microphone. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, beautiful. All right, my loves. So I will upload this. All of again, this was beautiful. Tony, thank you. I've never Mila, thank you for saying something. I really appreciate you. I've just met you. I don't know if you follow me, but if you do, thank you for following me. Thank you all. I really take it. I don't take it for granted. I take it with such deep gratitude. I'm in awe of you. I'm in awe that I get to know you. I get to talk to you. I get to share experiences. I'm just so happy and I'm in tears. So let's make 999 a kick-ass night. If you haven't listened to my first video, please go on drjoedispenza.com. Go buy the pineal gland guided meditation. Try to get that done this week, either tonight if you can, or this weekend. Again, it's called the pineal gland activation on drjoedispenza.com's website. When was the last time I ever plugged anything? Never, not really. Okay, much love. Carolyn, Australia. So if you missed this live, it will be on Patreon. It will be linked directly to, I'm trying to think if I'm going to make it public or not, but we'll see. All right, much love, okay? All right, reading Becoming Supernatural now. Good for you. Yeah, he's a kick-ass writer. All right, my phone's going to die. I'm going to let you go. Namaste, be well. Much love.